In this video, we're going to talk about how does grouping affect an expression. And so grouping is just when we have the parentheses in the problem and we need to distribute. There's different ways that we could go about doing it. So the first way is doing it following order of operations. And so using order of operations, we do 3 plus 9, which is 12. Okay, 12 times 6, which is 72. Okay, same thing. 9 plus 2 is 11 times 5 is 55. 8 minus 4 is 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? But what if we had a problem like this? It says, how is 7 parentheses x plus 2 different? Brainstorm how this problem could be simplified. So the difference is that there is a variable inside the parentheses. Okay, so we really can't do parentheses first and then multiply by the number on the outside. So we have to do what we call distribution. So I'm going to show you how it also works up here. So distribution is everything on the inside gets multiplied by the number on the outside first. So we're going to do 6 times 3 plus 6 times 9. Well, 6 times 3 is 18 plus 6 times 4, which is 54. 6 times 9 is 54. 18 plus 54 is 72. Okay, same thing with this. 5 times 9 is 45 plus 5 times 2, which is 10, also equals 55. It would be the same thing with this last problem too. So what we have to do is break it up. 7 times x plus 7 times 2. So 7 times x, we just leave as 7x. 7 times 2 is 14, and we put it together with our plus sign. So our simplified expression is 7x plus 14. That's as simple as it can go. We can't make it any smaller until we know what x is actually equal to. So it says the distributive property allows the number outside of the parentheses to be distributed to the terms inside the parentheses. So it says, each of the 4 members of the Robinson family ordered a drink, 2 slices of pizza, and an ice cream cone. Okay, so it says distribute and write an expression to represent their order. So we're going to use the letter D, the letter P, and the letter C. Okay, there's 2 slices of pizza, so we're going to use 2P. So 4 times the letter D is 4D. 4 times 2P is 8P. And 4 times C is 4C. And we just use our plus signs because they're all positive numbers. Okay, so that is our expression. It's as simple as this can go. Total, there was 4 drinks purchased, there was 8 slices of pizza purchased, and there were 4 ice cream cones purchased. And so that's what distributing does. It tells you if everybody bought the same thing, you can just multiply each of those by the number or however many people were there. So it says use the area model below to distribute. Okay, so area is length times the width. Okay, so we're going to do 5 times 3, or 5 times 3x, which is 15x. Okay, and then 5 times 2, which is 10. So if I put those two things together, so this is 15x, this is 10. So if I put those things together, it tells me what the area is of that entire box. Okay? It shows me the area of this whole entire thing. Change the color so that it looks better. Okay, it shows you the area of this whole thing. So we're going to do the same, or we just add them together to get the whole thing. So same thing, 7 times x is 7x. 7 times 9 is 63. So the area of this little rectangle is 7x. The area of this rectangle is 63. But if I wanted the area of this big giant thing, it would be 7x plus 63. All right, so we're going to do the first 3 together. We'll do the first 4, so we'll do the fraction together. So I like to, I draw little rainbows, little arches to each term so that I know that what I'm doing. So we're doing 5 times 6x. So 5 times 6x is 30x, okay? 5 times 9 is 45. So 30x plus 45. One thing that is also helpful, inside the parentheses, remember when we were combining like terms and I had you draw fence posts? Drawing a fence post inside the parentheses will also help you out when distributing, because we're doing 4 times 3k, which is 12k, but then we are doing 4 times -2, which is -8. It's super important to pay attention to that, because if this were a -4 on the outside, we would be doing -4 times -2, and that would change into a +8. So super important to pay attention to those signs. 1.5 times 6. 1.5 times 6 is 9, so we have 9t. 1.5 times 2 is 3, so we have 9t plus 3. So fractions on the outside, for some reason, really scares people. Really, I ask myself, okay, if I'm doing 1/2 times 8, well, what is half of 8? Half of 8 is 4, okay? 1/2 times -6, well, what's half of 6? Half of 6 is 3. So we have 3j. All right, so I want you to pause the video and I want you to do 10 and 11. Okay, so hopefully you problem solved and realized, all right, well, we have to multiply by p, we have to multiply by 7, and we have to multiply by 2q. So 8 times p is 8p, 8 times 7 is 56, and 8 times 2q is 16q. 4 times 3.2d is 12.8d. 4 times -10 is -40. So we have 12.8d minus 40. All right, so what I want to do real quick is talk about these 3 problems, okay? This term on the outside, this always confuses people, okay? This extra term here, okay, we're going to forget about that term for just a second. I'm going to cover it up real quick. So we're going to just distribute like we normally would. 6 times 4 is 24, so we have 24c. Okay, that's a -2, so we have 6 times -2, which is -12. Okay, now I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to bring this plus 10 back down. Okay, so now we can take what we learned in the last lesson where we combine like terms and we can put it in with distributing problems. Okay, so my like terms would be -12 and +10. Okay, -12 and +10 combine to make -2. And I just dropped down my 24c. So 24c minus 2 is the answer. Okay. So this problem again, we cover up this 5b for just a second. We're going to do 6 times 3b. That is 18b. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, we bring back our 5b. My like terms are 18b and 5b. So 18b plus 5b combined together to make 23b. And then we just drop down our plus 42 because there's nothing else to combine with it. Problems like this confuse people also, okay? So the number that we distribute is the number that is touching that parentheses. It's the one right next to the parentheses. So this 3x, that's extra for right now. We're covering that up just for right now. So we're going to do 2 times 4. That is 8x. 2 times 7 is 14. Now we bring back that 3x. And we combine like terms. 3x plus 8x is 11x. We drop down that 14 because there's nothing else to combine that with. And that is our answer, 11x plus 14. All right, so we are also going to talk about factoring. So it says expressions can be factored to remove a common factor. Factoring is how we undo the distributive property. So what I want you to think about, so in factoring, pretty much we're given the answer, okay? So you are given 30x plus 45, and you have to figure out what the problem actually was, all right? What number was on the outside of the parentheses? What numbers were on the inside? We are undoing the answer. So, for example, what number could we pull out of both 4 and 16? Okay, so we can pull 4 out of both 4 and 16. So if I do 4x divided by 4, I'm left with just x. If I do 16 divided by 4, I am left with 4. Okay, so my problem would be 4 on the outside, x plus 4 on the inside. Okay. We could also do 2. Okay. 2 could be pulled out. So if I divide 4 by 2, we would get 2x here. If I did 16 divided by 2, I would get 8. So 2 would be on the outside of my parentheses, and then on the inside, I would have 2x plus 8. Okay. So there could be multiple solutions just depending on what numbers you're dealing with. But on these 3 problems, there's only going to be one. So if I want to undo this problem, okay, both of these numbers are divisible by 2. So that means 2 is going to go on the outside of my parentheses. So now on the inside, we have to do 6 divided by 2. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we just keep our A. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that's our answer. 2 parentheses 3a plus 1. All right. This one, both numbers have factors of have a factor of 3. So that means that 3 is going to go on the outside of my parentheses. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. And we just keep the variable with it. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And it was a negative sign that we were using. Okay, I want you to pause the video and I would like for you to try number 17. All right, so you should have pulled out a 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So you should have 5 parentheses 2x plus 7. All right, you are going to grab the quick check that says, how does grouping affect an expression?